It's the biggest game in IPL so far. I don't say biggest because it involves the two biggest cities in the country, but also because these are the two finalists from last time around. I'm talking about Delhi versus Mumbai. It's game number 13, and we'll help you pick the fantasy teams. You're watching Coin DCX Go presents ESPN Cricinfo Fantasy Pick. Joining me on the program, Dale Steyn, who needs no introduction, and Shresh Shah, who's our in-house fantasy expert. But before I come to them, a quick look at ESPN Cricinfo Safe Bet 11. We've gone with Rohit Sharma and Prithvi Shaw as our openers. Remember, Rohit's last outing against Delhi was in 2020 final, where he scored a 51 ball 68. Shikhar Dhawan and Rishabh Pant as Surya Kumar Yadav are our middle order batsmen. Surya Kumar Yadav has scored this season 10, 56, 31, and he is the highest run scorer for Mumbai so far. Now, also, he got a 32 ball 53 and a 38 ball 51 against Delhi in the league last season. Karan Pollard, Krunal Pandya are our two all-rounders. Trent Bolt, now we're looking at our bowlers. Now, Bolt in his last three outings against Delhi picked up 8 wickets. Rahul Chahar, he's also a vice-captain. He's picked up 7 wickets in his last 2 games at the Chepauk. R. Ashwin, another bowler from Delhi, he's not gone wicketless in his last 8 T20 innings at Chepauk, and also has picked up 51 wickets in 43 T20 games at an average of 19.66 at an economy of 6.17 at Chepauk. And finally, to round up our 11, we've got Avesh Khan. Okay, let me get started with Dale now. Dale, we're taking a look at Ashwin's figure. I know we've gone with Shikhar Dhawan as the captain in our team, which is a safe bet, you'd have to say. But Ashwin at Chepauk, he'll be playing at his home ground. I'm looking at his record, has picked up a lot of wickets. Also, the second best economy on this ground as far as the IPL is concerned. Would he be a good option also to consider as captain?
Yeah, I think he's a great option to consider as captain. I think especially knowing, the character of Ashwin, knowing that he's up against the champions from last year, he'll be up for the fight. So he'll be rearing to put in a big performance. So I think, safe bet to possibly put your money down on Ashwin as being captain.
Okay, Shresh, I'd love to hear your high-risk options. And the first thing that I noticed, you've got Kagiso Rabada as your vice-captain. Interested to know your thought process behind it, considering he's not been in great form so far in the league?
Well, you're right that Rabada has not been in great form in the league this season, but neither has Mumbai's middle and lower order. And I just expect maybe another crumble coming up, and he's going to be bowling at least 2 overs in the death, maybe 1 in the middle overs when Mumbai trying to accelerate. So he might be a great option to get you some wicket options. So that's my logic behind Rabada as vice captain.
What are the other changes that you've got for us?
Well, I've gotten in Steven Smith instead of Rohit Sharma, and that is honestly my high risk option because Mumbai have the quality bowlers like Bumrah and Bolt, and you need quality batsmen for that. We know Dhawan's in great form, but others you're not entirely sure if they can handle the sort of quality which Bumrah and Bolt bring. And Steven Smith will be aching to make an impact. He got a chance in the last game. He did not fire so much. And I'd expect him to actually change his fortunes in that regard. The second change I've got is I've made a switch in the wicket keepers. And I've gotten an Ishan Kishan for Rishabh Pant. Well, Ishan Kishan he's not replicated his 2020 form at all. And that is bound to change at some point. And therefore, I have backed Ishan Kishan for this game. And maybe he'll bring that X factor in the Mumbai 11. The third change which I've got is I've gotten in Marcus Stoinis for R. Ashwin. I loved what Dale said, that he's a big match player, and when you're playing against the great teams, Ashwin might be able to sort of bring that extra 10% into the game. But I think Marcus Stoinis just gives you more options with both bat and ball. So I've gone with Marcus Stoinis, and you saw how great he finished the last game. And the last change I've done is I've removed Rahul Chahar, and as you know, I've brought in my vice captain, Kagiso Rabada.
Dale, a word on Steve Smith. Also considering now, Delhi would be playing in Chennai. Now it's a venue where you might as well need someone who's ready to grind it out. Not a very easy pitch to score runs. Not a bad option.
Yeah, not a bad option. And actually, to be honest with you, there's been some runs scored there in the last couple of games. So I'm sure he'd be pretty excited to get out and going. And not scoring runs in the last game, he's again, all these players are big match players. They're all up for it. And if they've been sitting on the bench for a couple games, or they haven't performed, or they haven't put out a big performance so far, there is one that's just around the corner for these guys. And Steve Smith, well, he's one of the world's best. You don't need to wait long before you can see Steve Smith scoring runs. So yeah, good to see him in that side too.
And finally, no Jasprit Bumrah in our safe bet, neither in high risk. Now, that's rare in a T20 team. Are you as surprised as I am, Dave?
Yeah, Bumrah, he does this every season, doesn't he? He kind of starts off a little bit slow, and then he picks up by the end of the IPL, and everyone can't stop talking about him because he is that wonderful player. So maybe he started in that similar kind of fashion. So not a bad option, and maybe by the end of the season we'll see he'll be in every team again. Every high risk, safe bet, it will be all the same for him. He'll be in there every time.
All right, we'll leave it at that. Thanks so much for joining us, Dale Steyn and Shreya Shah. You were watching Coin DCX Go presents ESPN Cricinfo Fantasy Pick.